One of the things that I am enjoying the most about the children going to an IB school is that they are being taught how to think for themselves. I feel like when they graduate from high school, they are going to be on their own 2 feet and they're going to be prepared for whatever comes their way, because they're not going to have been spoon-fed information their entire lives and told what to think and how to think it, but they are going to have started in kindergarten learning how to come up with answers on their own.
Some of the biggest differences that I've noticed have been the fact that they now are learning how to learn, as opposed to memorizing for the sake of memorizing. They're actually learning how to figure things out. So we've seen a lot less spelling tests and a lot less of just sheer memorization. And we've seen the program really shift more towards understanding how they're learning and why they're learning, and then making that more applicable to everyday life.
I think that's important because if you're doing that, you're going to be learning about different people from all over the world, and it shows that how you can make a difference in the world and how it's all matters. We were the first district ever to have all IB schools.
The biggest change that I see is he's very aware of the different types of learning profiles and how to apply them in kind of his everyday goings on. Most of Nicholas's friends are not native English speakers, or I should say a lot of his friends are not native English speakers, and they help each other. You know, his friends may help him speak Spanish, and he helps them understand things in English, or he has a lot of Burmese or Korean friends that he went to school with. So you see those types of physical things actually happening and going on within the school.
I just realized how many people are raising their grades up because they follow the IB system and their behavior grades are coming up, and because they're being, like I said, caring and open-minded towards other people, and they're thinking about other people's actions, and they don't just think about their own actions and how they'll feel. They think about how other people are going to feel, and that's how it's really changed.
The main difference I see in my child since, well, pre and post IB, he was extremely shy and kind of just went with the flow of things. And as the IB program developed, I've noticed that he has definitely taken on the inquirer profile. He asks a ton of questions constantly. And he's always been compassionate, but I see him being more proactive in his compassion. So he's really, between inquirer and caring, he is really taking a hold of the learner profile.
In my perspective, the IB learner profile are the moral qualities that we want our children to hold high and strive to achieve. We want them to be balanced, risk-taking, caring, knowledgeable, all of the profiles, and they're all important. And I really feel like the schools give each profile emphasis. They do a good job of blending all the profiles into the curriculum so that our children really are well-rounded.
The learner profile, as far as I know, and the way that I understand it, is really just some core criteria, and with some very, very open-ended principles, a handful of words that the kids can grasp. And then by having a very good understanding of what that framework is, they can really gauge the rest of their learning lives towards that. So taking some risks, being very polite and understanding of other people, understanding that not everyone looks the same, acts the same, is the same, but that doesn't mean that they're better or worse. And so our children, anyway, have taken those core principles, they've learned them, they've understood them, and then they expounded on them in day-to-day life. So it's really neat for us to see that those 6 or 8 different words really do provide a framework for their everyday life, as well as in the classroom, as well as outside of the classroom.
For me, it basically, it's a guideline as to how to fit in and understand and be more diverse and fit into obviously we have a much more diverse society these days. So I think it helps them prepare for living, for life. You have to be able to interact with different types of people. You have to be able to interact with people from different cultures. You have to be able to interact with people, with different ethnic backgrounds and traditions and things like that. So I think the learner profile gives them that guideline as to things that they can look for, and then hopefully as they become adults, it just kind of becomes natural for them.
Caring, principled, risk taker, thinker, reflective.
The learner profile is things that you should follow in life, from whether you're in kindergarten, whether you're in first grade, 8th grade, the high school, college, even when you're an adult, you should still follow the IB traits.
The IB learner profile, I think, are attributes that you should live by, I guess, and things you should definitely take into consideration when you're just being a normal person.
This shift in learning is important because with the way the world is moving and the way technology is moving forward, we are a global society. Just because we live in the middle of Indiana doesn't mean that we won't have communications with someone who lives in the middle of Asia. We have got to learn how to get along with everyone in the world and know how to respect everyone.
We think it's a great tool for our children. We think it's a real game changer for the district. I think it's going to allow us to see the top talent from around the area to come in as teachers and faculty, because it is so exciting. And it's also going to continue to bring in a lot of kids from outside the district who are high achievers who want to be a part of it. And we've seen it, so we're really excited about it, and we're just happy it's in our own backyard.
I think it's just a good program in general. I like how it sort of helps you get more globally focused and not just in your own community, but everywhere around the world.
In closing, I just think it's an excellent foundation. I think for our kids, you don't hear about this type of thing. At least I hadn't heard about this type of thing in a lot of other school districts or things like that. And I think to give our kids that kind of foundation, that kind of base going forward, going through, for my kid, middle school, and I have another one that's coming up, elementary school, in about a year, and then through high school, and then just through life. When they graduate college and get a job and start a family and all this kind of thing, I think it provides them an excellent base and foundation to be successful.
We could change the world with this, and we can decide our own future.
I love it.